We're back again, live and direct. You got Chef Keidi here in my laboratory. This is the Living Superfood Laboratory where we do our thing with living superfood recipes. There's a rumor going around that vegan, vegetarian lifestyle is boring. Boring food is boring food. Vegetarian food is great food. Great food that is boring food does not get eaten the way that great food should be eaten. We are all about dispelling that myth, that rumor, that vegan, vegetarian food is boring. That's why you keep coming back to your brother, Chef Keidi, and saying, Chef Keidi, show me how to do it right. I got a dish right here I'm going to prepare, and it's not going to take too long. I got everything set up and ready to go. It is living superfood hummus. Now hummus, we know, is one of the healthiest foods in the world cuisine, a West Asian food, so-called Middle East, the Orient, Persian food. The hummus we're going to make is going to be using living elements in it. We have garbanzo beans, and these particular brown garbanzo beans, I really like them. I think they have a little bit more flavor than your standard white kind of hybrid garbanzos. These have been sprouted. As you can see, I have my sprouting jar here. I take the center out of one of those bowl jars and replace that with a garlic bag screen, and that allows them to breathe. We soak them overnight, drain the water off, and then they sprout over the course of 3 or 4 days. These are sprouted a little bit longer than what we normally would, but that's okay. They work just perfect for the hummus. We also got living sunflower seeds. These have been soaked. You can sprout them overnight, tiny little tail pokes out, and you know you got your living food. So we're going to put this together using the Vitamixer here. It shouldn't take too long at all to put together. Again, the recipe that I have in Living Superfood is the base of what we're going to use. I'm altering it just a little bit, which I like to do with hummus. Hummus is a great vehicle for putting other things in, such as sun-dried tomatoes, chipotle peppers are wonderful. This time we're going to be using these beautiful dried California chili peppers as a base for giving our hummus a little bit of zing and a little extra robustness. But I tell you, I have been told, and I knew it was true, I've been told by no small number of people that, Keidi, your hummus is the best hummus I've ever tasted in life. Even people who were from Western Asia said the same thing. This is the best hummus I ever had. And I'm proud to say that. I'm proud to share that with you. So let's get down. Let's ready to do this. Now, the first thing I want to do is, because these chili peppers come in this dried form, what I do is I soak them for a while to let them kind of reconstitute so they won't be all hard and clicky, everything in the dish, clicky, whatever that means. So we're going to put these in the Vitamix blender here first. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put some of the other liquid type of items in there with that the recipe calls for. So the first thing we're going to do, the recipe does call for the juice of 1 lemon. So I've got 1 lemon here. These lemons aren't the juiciest, so we may need to use about 1 1/2. Got this wonderful electric citrus juicer that's able to process these real quick. And so let's just see how much juice we get out of this 1 lemon. And it doesn't look too bad, but I am going to juice another 1/2 lemon here real quickly. So let me just put another 1/2 lemon in here. Because for the hummus to really hum, what we will be doing is combining a number of flavors that themselves have a degree of intensity, okay? So we've got the juice there. We're going to pour our lemon juice into a little bowl right here, and we can always adjust it accordingly. The electric citrus juicer is really, really handy to use. Okay, so let's start putting our elements together. I'm going to use nearly all of the lemon juice and just hold back a little bit, maybe a tablespoon or so, in case I need to adjust the flavor at the end. The recipe also calls for a quarter of a cup of extra light virgin olive oil. Make sure your olive oil is extra light virgin cold pressed olive oil. You're starting to see more and more olive oils showing up on the market that are really not even cool, not even copacetic. Or you'll see olive oil blend. Run away if you see olive oil blend. So I did use some of the olive oil in the liquid that I used to reconstitute the pepper. So I'm going to put the rest of that olive oil in here right now. And then what we're going to do, since I have a blend in there that's somewhat liquid, I'm going to go ahead, put the lid onto my Vitamix at this point and blend those elements up so that the peppers don't come out in our final recipe as large chunks. This should take just a second. We turn the mixer on at slow speed and slowly turn it up. And then we slowly blend it down again, and everything looks like it's right in the consistency that we need for this. So we'll go ahead and put the main elements in here. The recipe calls for 2 cups of the sprouted garbanzo beans, and I think that's about exactly how much I have left over here. And I have slightly less than 1 cup, so I will be adjusting things accordingly. It calls for 1 cup of sprouted or soaked sunflower seeds. And since the garbanzo beans came up a little bit short, I just put a little bit extra sunflower seeds in there, so we'll make up the bulk. You can also, instead of using the garbanzos, another version of this in the Living Superfood Recipes book is to make it with zucchini. And it tastes really, really fantastic to make this with zucchini. So we got the sunflower seeds going in there as well. It also calls for 3 cloves of garlic, and I kind of like garlic, the intensity of garlic in my hummus, and so I've got about 4 cloves, even though a couple of the cloves aren't really large. I'm just going to kind of smash them and chop them just a little bit before I put them in there, just in case it doesn't completely blend this, because we're doing things a little quick. Chop them up, it makes it less likelihood that you're going to get any big chunks of garlic inside your dish, okay? So we go ahead and add the garlic to here, and we're just going to kind of keep on going through this. It also calls for a half a cup of tahini. Tahini is so wonderful. Sesame seed paste is tahini. And you know, sesame seeds, like a number of seeds, sunflower seeds as well, when we're talking about superfoods, you just cannot avoid the fact that seeds contain all of the essential, most seeds, many seeds contain all of the essential amino acids. When some people say that you got to eat meat to get them, well, no, we know where to get them without having to resort to eating meat. Sesame seeds, complete amino acids, a lot of critical nutrients in there, including tryptophan, from which your body makes serotonin, dopamine, melatonin. Very important, critical nutrient. You got your essential fatty acids in there as well. All of that is well and good. Let's keep on adding our ingredients to make this absolutely fantastic. It also calls for a half a cup of veganase. Now, in the Living Superfood Recipes book, we got several recipes for making our own veganase. You can make it out of sprouted or organic tofu. You can make it out of zucchini. I have a new recipe that's going to be in my new book, which makes another version of veganase. In this case, we're just going a convenient route and using one of our favorite brands called Follow Your Heart brand veganase. And so it really, really is tasty. But, you know, go ahead and try making your own veganase. You'll be surprised of just how tasty that can be. So we got the veganase in there. Let's go ahead. The recipe calls for 1 good tablespoon of curry Curry powder. Oh, I love curry. Curry, curry, curry. If the world were covered with curry, I would try and eat the whole planet. But we're going to use a good tablespoon, a generous tablespoon of curry powder in here. Curry also contains the curcumin, the turmeric, which is one of the most critical phytochemical nutrients that we could ever possibly have, now known to be a good cancer prevention, as well as being used in cancer, natural cancer therapies. So we got that in there. The recipe also calls for a half a teaspoon of sea salt. I do not add my salt directly to the blend, because sometimes you do that and it just goes and then you're trying to fish it out. So I just add it to the palm of my hand. I'm going to add just a little bit more because the sprouted garbanzos will have a slight bitterness to them, and the sea salt and the lemon counteract that bitterness that comes from these raw vegetables and raw beans. Not all beans should be eaten raw. A lot of beans contain toxins that are best cooked off, so be careful. I sprouted some black-eyed peas one time and got a bad case of the hives. It was terrible. So do not, be careful. Mung beans sprout very well. Garbanzo beans or chickpeas sprout very, very well. But not all of them do. So be real careful with that. We're going to add a half a teaspoon also of fresh ground black pepper to this. You can also add the fresh ground black pepper at the end as a sort of a garnish, but we got another garnish that I think works even better. So we're going to add a half a teaspoon there of freshly ground black pepper. And black pepper is so much better when it is freshly ground. You can definitely tell the difference. It also calls for about a tablespoon of 21 Seasonings herbal blend. You know what I got here? I got an herbal blend out of my own garden. It's got marjoram in it, it's got garlic chives, it's got thyme, it's got curry in it, it's got rosemary in it. It has this a wonderful blend. So I'm going to use a good little portion of this because fresh herbs, and I just dehydrated these in my sun-fueled solar dehydrator and just bottled this up yesterday. And the bouquet of this is just absolutely amazing. So that's why I'm going to be a little bit generous with that. So we're going to add a good tablespoon of that in there as well. You really can't miss when you're using fresh herbs. So you know something? I think we've got everything in here that we need to. So what we're going to do at this particular point, I'm going to go ahead, put the lid back on here, and I'm going to use the plunger to push the beans down onto the blade. Now, it's going to be a little bit thick, so I've got some almond milk over here as well in case I need to thin it out. So this is going to take a couple of minutes. Generally, the rule is when the grinder, when the mixer is working, we like to dance, you know. Speed it from slow to speed, tire speed. Go ahead and speed it on up. And slow it down as you keep grinding it down. And let's see what we got in here. We're going to go ahead and take a little taste test and make sure that everything is in proper balance. So let me just pull a little bit out of this. And you probably would want to grind it just a little bit longer so it's not grainy. But because we're on camera here, I shorten it just a little bit. Wonderfully complex flavor. The sprouted raw beans do have a strong taste, so I'm going to come back off of that a little bit. I did save a little bit more lemon juice. I'm going to go ahead and pour the rest of this lemon juice in here. And also, I'm going to use just a little bit more sea salt to pull away from that natural taste of those garbanzos. So I'm just going to add just a little bit more sea salt. And I think I will use just a little bit more lemon here. Since I have it handy. And we do keep a compost bucket in the kitchen too, because not only do we grow the food, or do we make the food, but we'd like to grow it as well. And so composting is very, very important. So a little bit of adjustment there. And I think we're ready to go. Everything else was intense. I'm going to add just a little bit more curry in this dish. Again, it's the curcumin in there. It's one of the healthiest nutrients we can have. We get that from the Ayurveda community. And I'm going to add, just so it'll blend a little faster and the consistency is going to be a little bit thinner, I'm just going to add just a couple of teaspoons of my almond milk. And let's go ahead and blend it up one more time. In the last month or so, on my daily talk radio show, I've been focusing a lot on longevity. Longevity is a beautiful thing. And in studying longevity for one whole month, applying the techniques that we were discovering, I have actually found that now 6 weeks after engaging my longevity program, it works. It really does work. So I am feeling good. I'm looking good. And my energy is fantastic. I'm getting my daily exercise in just the way I needed it to be. We don't double dip with spoons around here, y'all. Some of y'all be double dipping. Some of y'all kitchen habits, you're going to have to adjust a little bit, especially if you're going to invite me over. If you're going to invite me over, no double dipping. Get a fresh spoon. It only take you a second. Keidi, your hummus is the best hummus in the world. No more need for any more adjustments. This hummus is done, and it's done right. Now we want to present the hummus. So here we do. I have a bowl here. Oh, now I didn't start off as I should start off every class, as reminding you, you want to be healthy, you want to stay young, you want to be disease resistant, you want plenty of energy. This stuff. This is a magic elixir. 70% of the surface of the earth is covered by this stuff. 70% of my body is made of this stuff when I'm healthy. For babies, it's 85%. 85% of my brain, when it's healthy, is full of this stuff. This is called hydrogen dioxide. Otherwise known as agua, water. You can't beat it. You want to be healthy, you have to drink lots of water every day. It's about 2 o'clock, and I think I've had about 6 glasses or so of water so far today. Today's going to be a good day, y'all. So let's get ready to present this dish. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take it out of the Vita mixer over here, and I don't like to waste any parts of it. So we just scrape this thing down, and this is going to be really, really tasty over here. So we're going to go ahead and just turn this into a lovely bowl. Glass, we always, to the best of our abilities, we want to use glass to store these foods in, especially if they contain any oil in them at all. And because this does have extra light virgin olive oil in it, look at that consistency. That's just like perfect. And the color, the rich red color of those California chili peppers is just absolutely awesome. So we got this. We're going to put this in our bowl for presentation. I'm going to save this Vita mixer so the Vita mixer and my finger can explore each other a little bit later and get all of that tastiness out of it. So here we are, y'all. Look at what we got. It is absolutely beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. As you can see, I'm looking at 2 cameras at the same time. But we do want to present this. And one of the things that you do when you present hummus, normally you would be presenting it in a smaller bowl, but I'm using this big bowl. The 2 things you're going to do. One is you're going to dust it with some sweet paprika. That's not the hot pepper, sweet paprika. You can use hot pepper, but with the California chilies we have in it already, ground black pepper, you don't want to push this dish too far for them sensitive mouth family members that we have. So what I'm going to do is first of all, make sure when I take the cap off, I just shake this up a little bit so that all of it is loose and it doesn't just come out in a big blur. And so once I've done that, I just hold this up, and then tap it slightly and just make it just snow a little bit. That's what we're looking for, a dusting. We don't want globules on there. We just want a little bit of snow because we see the contrast of color between the hummus and this sweet paprika is absolutely wonderful. And then we take a little bit of olive oil, just about a teaspoon or so, and we just drizzle it. You don't want to cover the surface, you just drizzle it so you see it just kind of slightly pooling around there. That's the way that hummus generally is going to be presented. And then lastly, just for presentation's sake, I just got 3 strips of red bell pepper, and I'm just going to kind of put a little decoration on it as well with the red bell pepper, so that when we go to present it to friends and family member, you do see a lovely contrast there. So I'm going to bring this around. I'm going to show you on camera what we look like here, because I think it is just a gorgeous dish. It is undeniably a tasty dish, and we'd love to share this with as many of you as who would want to participate. Isn't that absolutely gorgeous? I look good too. Hey, I look really good today. That longevity has been good to me. Now, we've done all that. Then it comes to the bottom line. We need to taste this stuff. I know it's delicious. I've got these lovely crackers here, and these are beautiful whole grain crackers. They got the black sesame seed or chia seeds in them as well. Whole grains. When you're getting your crackers and things, don't get any refined grains or any refined carbohydrates or white crackers and stuff. Avoid those. It's just too much for your sugar level, blood sugar level. Oh my goodness. Keidi, you can make some hummus. It also serves up really, really good with some celery chops or some celery or some carrot strips. If anybody ever attempts to tell you that eating vegetarian or vegan is boring, that this food is bland, do this to them. Just do it to them. Lie to them, tell them it's Doritos or something. I'm going to have a good time over here. I just opened up the door and let all my neighbors come in and sample some of this. In fact, I think I'll take some next door to my neighbors and say, you know something, I like you guys. Do this for your friends, do this for your family, do it for yourself, do it for the past, the present, and the future. Just do it because it's the right thing to do. Get the book. Go to livingsuperfood.com and get this book, Living Superfood Recipes. It has 110 like this. And also, if you want to know why you want to do this for your health and your longevity, this is the book that's going to inform you. Living Superfood Research. In the meantime, I got work to do. LivingSuperfood.com. Tell your friends to tell their friends. We know what to do now. I'll talk to you next time. It's a good day.